Today is MOT day for GSA the GSA. That's the annual safety check. Hard to believe it's almost a year since I collected this car. So we're going to see how she does. I've done quite a bit of work this week, as you may have seen in previous videos. So hopefully she will go sailing through. But you never know. First we must wake her up. I apologise for the backlighting with having the doors open. But we pull the handbrake on, put her into neutral, set the choke down here, out of sight, up lights all the lights, and the usual struggle. This is because fuel evaporates out of the carburetor, I think. There we go. And then we must wait for certain of these lights to go out. The charge light still doesn't, but as the hydraulic system pressurizes up, all the other lights go out. But yeah, isn't that just a beautiful dashboard? And this on a car launched in 1980. Just remarkable. Well, we're underway. The heater is a bit cool this morning because I still haven't got a grill blind to maximize the heat from the engine when it's a bit colder. I thought it was warmer than it actually is today. Might yet be glad of my hubnut beanie when we get to the MOT station and inevitably have to stand around waiting for quite some time. But we're going to take the interesting route, which starts with a very interesting, very long climb up towards Cross Inn. And Pennant this will warm her up, or it would have done if we hadn't encountered traffic. But yes, the biggest problem my Nissan Primera has is this car. After you've spent some time floating around in this car, the suspension in the Primera does feel rather below par in terms of ride comfort. It's not as bad as the Vectra. The Vectra did have shot dampers, to be fair, so that was absolutely awful. But it's still not brilliant. This car just absorbs every bump in the road. It's a breathtaking car to drive. And just like the Primera, it also has no low down torque. A bit more like it. Quite damp and greasy on the roads though, so I can't go too gung-ho. Being so front heavy with the engine ahead of the driven axle, understeer is a real thing in the GSA. We're making our way cross country towards Tregaron. Woohoo! Times like this, you're glad the GSA has good brakes, and they really are superb, very powerful. All discs with quite a few thousand, I think it's 2000 psi on the braking system and about 400 on the suspension, I think. Yep, I like this car. Let's continue to the MOT station. Oh, let's have a bit more hurtle, because this road's quite good fun. Run between Tregaron and Pontrydd Fendigide. How's that for a place name? The gears are spaced perfectly in this car. If you do 5,000 RPM, you drop straight into sort of maximum torque, which is nice. Woohoo! Crests are the one thing that catch out hydro pneumatic Citroens. Good test of the bump stops though. But yes, you do have to watch out because you get logging wagons coming down this road. on your side of the road, which is extra fun. I love this car. Well, the MOT is complete and it's a pass. We've got advisories for a few things, track rod end dust covers damaged, but that's okay. They're not actually split, they're just on their way. We've got a nail in a tyre on the back, which is actually a fawn, which I didn't pull out, but I might have to swap the rear tyres a bit earlier than planned. Exhaust minor leak, which I knew about. A minor hydraulic leak from the near side rear, which I think might be another return pipe, but it's buried up above the subframe, so I might have to get some specialist help to sort that. And oil leak, but not excessive, which is the gearbox oil leak, which we all know about. That's the drive shaft seal. But I'm going to get back in the car because it's quite cold and it's much warmer in here. But yeah, thanks to Madeira and Havard, that's another MOT, so she's good to go. So we can drive back. Let me attach you to the window and we shall drive. Yes, a pass is always a relief, and I think I've got a short break now on MOTs, although there's always something I'll forget about. Unless I'm going to put some lights on just because it's so gloomy and my car is black. There you go. Spend their money on snap-on tools again. I think we'll go back the fun way because it is more fun. There's nothing too serious there, but like I say, you can't even see where the hydraulic leak at the back is coming from. But the fact it isn't pouring out suggests it is another return line, most likely. So I do need to get her booked in with a specialist because I'm not too happy about tackling the drive shaft thing either. I just don't know my way around this car. And you know, I'm on a winning streak at the moment with jobs. They're all going really well. I don't want to spoil that and end up with this car in bits and I can't do anything. The fact there's no one locally who really has the knowledge to work on these cars, it is a bit of a problem. It means if I do get stuck, I really am stuck. So specialists exist with good reason in my book, and I'd be happy to support them. So still got the bodywork to sort out as well, so we'll see how the year unfolds. But there are a few specialists I have in mind, so we'll just see what happens. It's just logistics at the moment, but probably won't rush to sort out these things, like those dust covers on the track rod ends. I mean, that might be an opportunity because I've got a problem where the gaiter on the steering rack does pop off. I had to sort that before the test. So I think that needs a new plastic tube, and I think you've got to take the track rod end off to get that tube on anyway. So it might be an ideal time to tackle a few little jobs like that. So we'll see. As lockdown eases and travel becomes a bit easier, I can go and see the people who can make this car better. And there's a few other things I would like to sort out, and their knowledge becomes invaluable. It's pleasing that there are people who specialise in these cars, because especially the Gs were never all that common in the UK, and certainly surviving numbers are very low indeed. So yeah, more as we have it. For now, just let rip. Woohoo! Yeah, I shall report more about this car. Crests and various things in a future video. Actually, I just want to take some time to pay a bit of tribute to this car, because looking at the mileage, there's about 4,000 miles between tests, but actually it was probably about 1,000 where the speedometer was not working. So that's 5,000 miles we covered together last year. A very difficult year, obviously. For quite a good chunk of last year, this was my only working car. So the 2CV didn't have an MOT until June of 2020. And I came back in March, pretty much exactly a year ago, in fact. And I wasn't expecting this car to become my sole working car, but nonetheless, that's what happened. And yeah, it's been brilliant, wonderful car. Excellent family transport. We'd do the weekly shop in it. Of course, it was invaluable when I was having to go back to the old unit So every one of those trips was a 100-mile round trip. So yeah, she's done really well. I'm very proud of this car, and I've really enjoyed driving it. Of course, she is dirty again. So does that mean she gets a third wash in a week? I'm not sure she will, to be honest. We'll clean her up at some point. But yeah, it's been a very enjoyable ownership of this car, and I look forward to actually finally taking it on some of the longer adventures I'd hoped to cover in 2020. Even the ones in 2021 are looking a little unlikely at the moment. But I shall say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this car's adventures as well. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Farewell.